Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, The Gym Doctors. I am Mohsin, one half of The Gym Doctors. My colleague, my friend Yahya, he's not here today, so I'm doing the episode alone. We are both GPs in the UK. We started the channel essentially as a means to put out evidence-based content regarding health and well-being for everyone out there looking to improve their own health and well-being. We started this after we essentially started our own health and well-being journeys a few months back, and we figured we could hopefully pass out some nuggets of knowledge and information to everyone out there. Thank you for everyone who's subscribed and who's logged into the channel so far. We really appreciate your support. Please continue to like, subscribe and share the channel as much as you can. And goes without saying, all the information that we present here today is essentially for information and entertainment purposes only. This does not constitute medical advice. If there is anything specific that you want to query, please always make sure you get in touch with your doctor or your GP first. All right, so now without further ado, given that I'm here alone today, in the last video we went through the different topics and everything that we will be discussing on the channel in the coming weeks and months as we go on. Today, as it stands, we're going to be starting on our very first topic. Now, given it's the first topic that we're going to go into, going to keep it a bit light, and essentially what I'm going to start off with today is just a general introduction to exercise and physical activity. Right. So, exercise and physical activity. What exactly do we mean? I'll give you a couple of examples as we go along. We'll first discuss the general recommendation. Now, the WHO, the World Health Organization, recommends that for healthy, able adults over the age of 18, they should be aiming to do at least 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity per week. All right. Now, I'll give you an example just to give you an idea of what exactly do we mean when we say moderate intensity physical activity. Now, it gets divided into three parts: low intensity, moderate, and obviously vigorous intensity physical activity. Low intensity, to put it, an example would be going out for a light walk, a stroll, basically, where you're not exerting yourself, you're not feeling short of breath, at a comfortable pace of around maybe 3 miles an hour, roughly. Moderate intensity would be somewhere around maybe 4 to 5 miles an hour, where you're walking a bit fast. You might feel you get sweating a bit, might feel a little short of breath, but you're still able to carry out a conversation without any major problems. All right. And lastly, vigorous physical activity is essentially, as the name goes, for example, you've gone for a hike, or for example, you're going for a jog or run, maybe 6 to 8 miles an hour. You're breathing hard, sweating, and you find it very difficult to actually carry out a conversation at all. Right, that would be vigorous physical activity. Now, for people doing vigorous physical activity, the recommendation is slightly different. WHO recommends that you go for 75 to 150 minutes a week. But keeping that aside, everyone has their own baseline. Everyone has different levels of physical fitness. So you essentially go with what you're comfortable with. You start off at a level which you can manage easily, and then you slowly build it up. So if, for example, you can't go for 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity a week, and you're just starting off, that's absolutely fine, not a problem at all. All right, the main thing is you've started doing some level of physical activity, and you're trying to improve your health and well-being. So kudos to you. And keeping that in mind, you start with whatever you can do. All right, for example, if you can do just maybe 90 minutes a week, that's absolutely fine. You slowly increase that, you slowly build it up over time, and obviously as you get a bit more proficient at it, will definitely get a bit better, and your fitness levels will improve, so you can slowly increase the time and the duration as you go along. All right. So now we've discussed baseline physical activity levels. Let's talk about why you should be doing this. What's the reason? What's the benefit? So basically, it's a huge buttload of benefits that are to be availed with physical activity. I'll just list down a couple for you, and then we can have a chat about those in a bit more detail as well. Now, first and foremost, what physical activity does for you is essentially improve your muscular health and your cardiorespiratory fitness. All right. Cardio entails your heart. Respiratory entails your lungs. All right. The other thing it does is improve your bone health. All right, makes your bones stronger when you're doing physical activity. That essentially means that you have a lower risk of having problems with your bones, such as fractures from minor falls. All right. Second, exercise, physical activity will essentially improve your functional health as well, which essentially means improving your balance, and that would essentially mean having lesser falls. And obviously, as you're all probably already aware, you do tend to have more falls as you get older because your balance suffers a bit. So physical activity should help prevent that from declining rapidly, of that from happening. All right. The other thing would essentially, it would reduce the risk of having cardiovascular problems. Now, what does cardiovascular mean? Cardio, like I just mentioned, is your heart. Vascular is all the vessels of the arteries and the veins in your body. All right. So all the places that are carrying blood inside the body. Now, what does that mean? That entails essentially reducing your risk of having a high blood pressure. All right. Number one, so decrease in hypertension. Second would be reducing your risk of coronary heart disease. Coronary heart disease essentially means heart problems such as angina, or such as the risk of having a heart attack. All of the risks go down. Third would be reducing your risk of having a stroke. All right, and also reducing risk of having diabetes. The other thing physical activity will do is, again, something you're already all aware of, help improve your weight. So if you're looking to lose weight or maintain weight, that will help you do that. All right. It will increase your muscle mass, and obviously increase, or will improve your body composition as well. So that will, on the whole, improve your outlook, improve your posture, as your muscular strength improves, and over time that will make you look better as well. All right. And also, I'd like to add that physical activity will not only work wonders for your physical health, it will also work tremendously for your mental health as well. So improve your mental well-being, reduce depression and anxiety as well. So another benefit to go with. Now, with that being said, I think it's probably time I come to a close here. Like I said, I wanted to keep this first episode a bit light. Don't want to go into too many details or in-depth discussions. So we'll call it a timeout here. And I think I'll leave you with this to kind of just go through, ponder, get this down. For the next episode, what I'm thinking is we'll discuss the exercise patterns that you should be adopting, essentially what you should be aiming for, what type of exercise you should be doing throughout the week, what your pattern should be. So essentially entailing what different body parts you should be training, for example, and how many times the muscle groups should essentially be getting a stimulus throughout the week. So we'll go into a bit more detail about that. But until next time, Thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember, please like, subscribe and share as much as you can, and thank you all for your support, and I'll see you next time.